Welcome to netnerds. I'm Piet, and today on the discussion table we have
Marius.
And Dominic. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, today's starting topic is DRM. Love it or hate it, we're unfortunately stuck with this thing. The reason we're talking about DRM tonight is because of the whole SimCity controversy. As we all know, SimCity is online only for now, and due to the horrible launch, the CEO of EA kind of resigned.
Well, it's
Is it related?
most likely.
I'm going with it's related.
Yeah, it's
because
gotta be.
The
It's
reasons
gotta
the reasons they gave on the game station today was that the CEO's statement was that he's resigning because in his reign, the bottom line of his current year, he pretty much didn't make enough profit. He says it's financially, but then they also raised that this guy that did this is responsible for this horrible thing with the SimCity is now gone, but he was also responsible for the launch of Origin, which again DRM related, love it or hate it, whatever. But apparently, according to figures, since it's launched, it's made like $1.5 million for them just in sales.
Origin.
Yes.
Wow.
So
granted, Steam makes that in a minute.
Yeah.
one of the main selling factors is that all the Sims expansions come on Origin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That
Origin is annoying.
Origin is the beast that Steam was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was actually telling Dominique, I remember when Half-Life 2 launched here in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
It's like, Half-Life 2? Mommy, I'm gonna play this. It's like, finally connect on your 56k modem, and you have to do like a 400 meg download to unlock the game. Worst launch day ever.
Well, I remember when I wanted to buy Dawn of War, the original Dawn of War 2. I had the game in my hands, and I didn't. I just look on the back of the box and it said Steam, and I'm like, no, put the game back. And the other day I bought all three of them on Steam, and Steam has become my go-to thing for any games that I want.
Yeah, Steam is really becoming the go-to thing for...
We discussed it the other day with the Machinima show. All your games all belong to us. All your history all belong to us. Where they did it history on Steam. I think it was with you we discussed.
No,
I discussed it with you.
It was with I.
With I. It's the entire history of Steam and things and what they did to Steam in the beginning. And yes, it's a horrible thing. We all hated it when it launched, but they managed it so well. It's just, there's a lot of free games on Steam which I like to play. And the cool thing is, yes, it's a free game, but it doesn't mean like it's an outcast of Steam. A game I like to play a lot is Moonbreakers. It's a based on DLC microtransactions to upgrade your ship or your gear or whatever. But it's still a Steam game. So when I'm in the game, it's a free game, and I don't have to pay to get the extra gear. I can play and unlock it with my own time, much like Battlefield Heroes. I can just press Shift Tab and I'm instantly connected to all you guys, my friend circle, everyone playing Dota. I can immediately browse to actually directly buy extra DLCs. The one thing and now in comparison with Origin is that with Origin there are a few free games as well. One of them being Need for Speed Online, because there is an online Need for Speed, and other one is
we're talking about games here, not concepts of that failed.
Concept. No, the game is currently running, but
the game.
All the free games on Origin are merely links. The moment you click on it, you're completely removed from Origin. Nothing to do with Origin anymore. You don't have to log into Origin to play this free game. It installs separately, it runs separately, it logs in separately.
Yeah, Origin's got some ways to go. On my PC, it takes half an hour for me to launch Origin when I'm on your guys' network.
And we've got numerous problems with Punkbuster.
Yeah, no, it's not. Origin is evil.
But, it's always funny for me to see how everyone's trying to get into the Steam pie. Pun intended. With what do you call them? Ubisoft's uPlay. One of the weirdest versions I've heard is if you buy Far Cry Flee.
Flee.
That's the free version, which just never
run away.
You just run away. If you buy Far Cry Free on Steam, it launches uPlay first, then you have to click play in uPlay.
That's much like there are games like that on Steam with Blacklight. Actually, all the Perfect Worlds games, and that includes Star Trek Online. You launch it from Steam, but then you have to log into your Perfect World account.
Yeah, it's DRM-ception.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only difference is every time you launch Ubisoft's uPlay, a kitten dies.
it's like you two with every time I click my hand, a child dies in Africa, and it don't.
No, Steam is perfect. Steam is streamlined, and Steam works. That's unfortunately how it is, and there's no getting around that. And stuff like uPlay and Origin has got years of development ahead of them too. I can't even backlog my old game, EA games that I've got onto Origin.
Yeah, that's one of my big gripes of Origin is you can't back up the game. So with games like Battlefield, which is huge,
7.5 million megapascals, whatever they call it.
Downloading and installing that from scratch is not an option.
Well, no, I've formatted in my computer a few times since I've installed Battlefield, and it's not impossible. But it is tricky because you have to reinstall your Origin, re-register it, and then confirm you have the game in your library, and then press play, and then it has to check if it's on your computer, and then it needs to start the pseudo download, and when you have to stop the download, and you have to paste the file. It's
well, if you compare that then to Steam's backup,
it's built in.
Yeah, and restore is incredibly easy.
Yes.
I mean, it's just do it. You can literally plug and play anywhere you like to, and it's good to go.
Yeah, so I actually did. What I like to do is I download the games now, back up them, put on like an external drive. So let's say one day I'm in the mood for say Witcher 2. I just plug in my drive, install the game, good to go.
You're not supposed to uninstall Witcher 2 at all. You're dead to me. You're dead to me.
Well, I'm going to be even more. I haven't even played it yet.
Yeah, you still have it. That's awesome. At least he owns it.
They actually compare. They compare some elements of Dark Souls. The one review I watched recently because I've played Dark Souls. Sorry for bringing the beginning so recently. Anyway,
listen to the previous cast.
They compared. They compared some of the elements of fighting and resting to Witcher, wherein you fighting is meticulous and slow, and resting is purposeful. You don't you just drink a potion, you're fine. Every potion you drink is crucial, and every time you rest, you have to make decisions involving your next fight.
I've got a whole episode of talk
for
about Witcher 2, so let's just skip that and move on.
Yeah, it's obviously not as in depth.
Just want to say Witcher 3, yeah. Sorry. Anyways, moving on.
A thing I wanted to bring up with the reason maybe why Steam is so popular is not well. So we turn from hating it to liking it. It's not just the fact that it's it works and years of development, and then really put a lot of effort into actually making the simple thing like, oh, you want to buy a $10 DLC and it works immediately, like we did with the Tower Commanders.
That was way too easy.
It's way too. They make it so easy for you just to click and you have what you need to play. DLCs included.
I'm sure Pete will agree with me on this. I've got 3 or 4 games on my Steam that I haven't installed yet.
Yeah.
I've bought them, but I haven't installed them. You've got a whole library.
Yeah, I got about 400 and something plus games.
Jeez, dude.
Of which I've played 10%.
This
is actually a great website. I'll try and see if I can put it on the link on the comments when this goes up. But called Wasted on Steam. My library is
wasted on Steam.
Was wasted on Steam.
But to finish my train of thought, it's not just because it's such a robust system. It's also and I'm a big fan of what we call it these days is retro gaming. But I like reading up and listening up and finding out more about the Nintendo and Sega era way back when with the original consoles. And one of the reasons why some of these consoles that were deemed as failures failed was because they didn't have a library, and that's one thing that made Steam so successful. They were doing what they were doing, the only people in the field for a few years, and that made them just stack up the titles. And now you've got hundreds and thousands of games, and we've got a Greenlight project, and we've got
You see, what Steam does is they allow small publishers and developers to publish their games without publishers. If you look at, stupid example, Arma's got their own, Bohemia Interactive's got their own
Yes.
publishing thing, but they're now using Steam exclusively to publish. And Rocket, in the development of DayZ, said they're not going to bother with their own publishing thing at all because they're going to do it through Steam. And that's what it does. It allows independent, low-budget Kickstarter companies to be able to publish a thing on a mass scale that you don't have to go through a publisher like Vivendi or EA or
and there's no production cost with the CDs and casing, and there's no shipping cost.
No,
of
it's
units.
it's digital and you go.
You cut that large part from the middleman.
Yeah, and the thing is also is they make more money on Steam than say PlayStation or Xbox. Because I think I remember reading somewhere, I can't remember the studio who made the game, but they apparently made more money during a Steam sale than during the whole year because the game was like constantly on sale.
Well, I can imagine that. We get excited when all the Steam sales come on. We all start
wallet
saving.
weeps.
Yes.
Go to YouTube and do a search for the amount the sudden spike in what's the game's name I played so much? Oh man, this ship.
FTL.
FTL.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The what's his face? The FTL was on a huge sale in January 2013 this year, and the moment I bought the game and played it for a bit, obviously Google watches your life and monitors your searches and then gives you results. But there was a definite surge in amount of people suddenly playing game. Control Delete, the guy from Control Delete, the webcomic, since after I bought the game in that same week, he posted a comment, and in his description he said the game was on sale and he had to play it. Day 9, the Starcraft caster, because of the sale he bought it and he did the entire 2 free shows playing it. So during Steam sales they make a lot of money, and it pushes up the awareness of the game, causing more people to buy it.
That's exactly it, and the same sort of thing with DayZ. I heard about DayZ, and then what's it, Sidestrafe. The Sidestrafe videos I heard about DayZ, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then there was a Steam sale that was off on Arma, and I'm like, well, fine, I'm gonna take it. So I bought it.
You bought it for me and for you.
Yes, and we got DayZ. It's a mod, but by the original game. And since then, I think the total amount of game copies sold for Arma for just DayZ was like 1 million.
It's so big in fact now. DayZ as a mod is listed as a separate game to play on Steam.
Yes.
And then when you go to the pages that tell you, listen, you do need Arma 2, but you can download this and you've got.
That's doing it right. That's opening up your source, your product to other people.
Which brings us to the start of Steam.
Back to
the start
Steam,
of Steam. How did Steam start? Counter-Strike.
Yes.
It started way back when a small group of people made a mod for Half-Life and the Counter-Strike took off.
Well, I can't see EA opening up themselves to external developers.
Apparently they have approached external developers to publish on Origin, but still, it's like the question, do you really want to publish on Origin? I mean, I know there's a lot of people who use it, but I don't know, for me it's just, I only open it if I need to play an EA game.
The only reason I have it is because Battlefield and then by extent Mass Effect.
No, but we're
No,
not
that's
talking
true.
about Mass Effect.
And then you kind of got Mass Effect 2
dead.
on.
So it's not.
There's no such thing. It's a myth of Mass Effect.
I watched the Mass Effect Paragon Lost movie yesterday. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think we'll have to do a Mass Effect episode.
Yes.
Get Andrew in here, yes.
Yes.
Like we just see him like
Crying.
Andrew, the
The-
endings.
The two of you
It's like
guys are
start
gonna.
twitching.
The two you guys gotta be quiet, and Andrew gonna slug it out because I'm one of the few people that actually liked the ending, and this.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I'm betting you if people listen this far into the
Ladies
video,
and gentlemen.
if people listen this far into the podcast, we're gonna get a mass amount of quotes saying, "No, the ending sucked." The trolls are gonna come.
Yeah, okay, so cool. So we can put like Mass Effect in the tag sort of.
Mass Effect and the ending rule.
Now beat us. Beat us badly.
Okay, excuse my dogs in the background, but
Moment of silence for the audio cutting later.
Yes. Okay, cool. That was fun.
Damn you dogs.
Yeah, they are freaking angry. So we'll have to do the what's that, like bluff tracks?
Bluff tracks.
The bluff tracks.
So we'll have to do bluff tracks one day of the dogs.
Kom terug later vir die fokies van vandag.
Can I just stick to English because I don't think the people would know what the hell we're talking about unless they think we're part of the Antwoord.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
There's
that
actually
word.
yeah, I like the Antwoord, but the thing is, let's okay, back on topic. There's actually one piece of DRM I actually remember that gave me grief like you would not believe.
Starfire.
It was
Starforce.
Starforce. It was the DRM that they used on a lot of games in the
90s.
90s and noughties, so I'm not sure.
Naughties.
I didn't coin the phrase. It's like the worst term ever. You know, the game I remember it was on, it was The Suffering That Dies With Bind. And I'm not even sure if I ever managed to play the game.
Jeez.
Was that bad?
It was that bad. I mean,
I in the 90s I didn't exactly have a good internet connection. I had no internet connection, number one, and number two, I didn't download games, and number three, I pretty much just had StarCraft and Warcraft, so I didn't have a lot of games to play anyway. But I heard about Starforce, and I would really
I know if you actually Google online, you can actually you will find articles about Starforce destroying DVD-ROMs.
Oh yes, it would actually lock out your read-write device.
Yeah, you can do jack. If you had like say, I don't know if any of you to remember like Alcohol 120.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you had that kind of software on your PC, it would refuse to run the game.
Well, my first experience with something akin to DRM was when Assassin's Creed 2 came out.
Oh, I remember this.
Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and I bought the black special edition. Wada. You got the Ezio figurine and everything with it, and I installed the game, and it worked perfectly for 2 or 3 days. And then suddenly I couldn't log into uPlay or whatever Ubisoft's version of it is, and I couldn't log in, and so I couldn't play the game, even though it's a single player game only. And one thing though that was cool is I got a mail from Ubisoft saying, "Listen, sorry about this, and here's a CD key for you, or here's a key you can type in. You can unlock all the special edition features." I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's cool of them, but I already have the special edition game." But I appreciated the gesture, so it's cool. And then 3 days later, I think it was about 3 days, then I got another mail from Ubisoft saying, "Listen, we're sorry, we saw you have the special edition. Just type this key in, you can download any game from our library free of charge," which is pretty cool. Then I downloaded N-War, which is quite a cool concept game. And so I appreciate that. But still, the point is, if you're not prepared for it, I mean, just look at the Blizzard Diablo 3 fiasco, and then that underlines anything. You know,
the first game I played like that had to have consistent internet access was Phantasy Star Universe. Now, I don't know if you guys have played it, but it's one of those games that we don't really have here in the Western world. It's more sort of a Korean, Japan sort of thing. It's Eastern. It's an MMO where you there's no PvP. It's only PvE. And it's highly focused on customization and painting your character and collecting like figurines to put in your room. It's very fanboy based, but it required, for a single player campaign, which was pretty much just an online game but with no other people around, you still required consistent online access. And then if you wanted to play online, even though it was a game very linear, you had to pay a monthly fee, and I was surprised to see that the game is actually still running.
Yeah.
It's one of those strange things that I'll never understand. It's not like there's expansions. It's the game. The only thing you can further unlock is a different set of shoes. No, literally.
It's like, okay, here's your shoes, keep playing. And
which brings us, I guess, to Team Fortress, but that's a horrible story.
Yeah, fortunately I never played Team Fortress.
Team Fortress is getting an update. I don't know the name, but it's gonna turn the entire game, give the entire game a section that's PvE. Turning everyone against like a zombie horde or something.
Isn't it man versus man or that machine?
Yeah, something invades. Robots invade or zombies invade.
Yeah, I think that's out already.
Yeah, it's out, I think, already, or something similar to it. And
That can be quite cool, actually.
and on
Not a
that
big Team Fortress fan, but
and on that topic, Team Fortress might be first game to be getting the Oculus Cyclops.
Oculus Rift.
Yes, Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift is a
okay.
you know.
I know.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
I'm well aware of what Oculus Rift is.
No, this isn't the netnerds podcast for nothing.
Oh, for fuck.
Shame on you! Shame!
Sean.
Yeah, but you see, it's tricky. If you expect, let's take the Diablo for example. If it's a game a decade in the making, everybody's expecting it. So Blizzard should have expected it's gonna be overkill.
Blizzard should have expected. There was no way for the people of the new Baldur's Gate to expect it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The Baldurs Gate.
You know what happened?
Huh?
But the new Baldur's Gate has been announced. It was like late last year. And
that was epic.
And we got this email, me and Marius and Hammond, we got an email, and we got this rumor, and they spread this rumor online, and there was this website, and you go to the website, and just
the website
Baldur's Gate logo with a countdown.
with a countdown.
And that was their downfall, because they didn't realize how big the Baldur's Gate fan base is. When the countdown reached 0, pretty much all that happens is the site goes live. You can browse the site and get the information.
No, that's not what happened.
Their fans DDO'd the site, and within the hour it was online in the gaming news that the site got DDO'd, and
it's not like malicious. It's just people were spamming F5 to see the clock countdown, and the site DDO'd.
Speaking of DRM quickly, sticking Diablo free. I don't know if you're too nervous, but it's coming to the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I know.
it is.
Yeah,
We were expecting something.
And it has an offline mode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I left my
What?
sword at home, so
yeah.
Yes.
It's a console.
Yes.
It's gotta be offline.
We said this.
Yeah, no.
It's
Bullshit.
what the hell? That's what we wanted. Now the
Let's
console
rather
jockeys are
play Path
getting
of Exile,
but which requires online play anyway.
but that's cool.
Yeah, random dungeons, I think.
But Path of Exile is awesome.
Yeah, Path of Exile.
I'm still deciding. I haven't played enough of it.
Look, Diablo 3 is fun. It's a fun game. But it's not.
It's like playing whack-a-mole.
It's not the. Yes, it's like playing whack-a-mole. You know?
It's colorful, it's big, and it's fluffy.
And then
And it
it's
makes
done.
it's make when you hit it.
The thing is, it's not what Diablo 2's successor should have been.
Yeah,
It's
but-
not gothy enough. It's not dark enough. It's not
Yeah, but
grimy.
it's World of Diablo craft.
You know, it's true. It's true.
Yes, with big pauldrons and skimpy clothes.
Although I appreciate what Battle.net provides. I appreciate the fact that you can be in World of Warcraft and chat to your guys who's playing
Yeah,
StarCraft.
that's pretty cool.
Awesome. I like that.
It's pretty much their way of saying screw you, Steam, and screw you, Origin.
Well, it's Blizzard. I mean, they on top of their mountain of gold, they can do anything they want to.
And the
so-
Chamber of Testicles.
and the Chamber of Testicles.
Chamber of Testicles.
Blizzard owns each and everybody's left testicle. That's how it is. So they've got this.
They
Chamber of
own you. I don't like the games anymore, but I do own a StarCraft.
Yeah, I can just like imagine like the first day at like Blizzard HQ, like SQ, like sign up for the testicle removal chamber.
You're like
No, no.
wake up in a tub of ice. Saying, what? What?
It's like,
Yeah, like a
Neo.
tub of ice with like a keyboard and a Wacom tablet in your hand. Like,
And slime like Neo waking up in the Matrix, like, oh, whoa, dude. No, it's just, you know.
it's like just like imagine like Neo like bending forward. You think that's your real testicle?
And the Red Bull and Blue Bull are very different versions of Blizzard.
The thing is, Diablo is, it's cool. It's fun. It was not worth staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning for.
In
but
chainmail and pauldrons.
In chainmail and pauldrons, but it was pretty cool. But it's not what I expected it to be.
Honestly, I didn't really play Diablo 2, so I didn't expect anything grand. But
The amount of hours of my life
You've-
pissed away in Diablo 2 isn't. Yeah, no.
amount of hours in my life I've pissed away in Arcanum
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's a cool game. It's fun. But the whole online thing, that Era 37.
Yeah,
I mean, it became a net-wide meme thing. And
Everyone did an angry rendition of
and now SimCity, going full circle to how we started this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Now SimCity has done the same thing.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I gotta stand in a queue to play single player.
What is up with that?
You have to. I started. I haven't bought SimCity. I still play SimCity 2000 because I enjoy it, but I really stood up and. I didn't stand up and listen. That's the correct way of putting it. But I really feel there's some weight to the fact when the Lazygamer reviews, the freaking indie from there, did a review on a lot of Max's games. He loves Max's as a company. He reviews all their games. He's got great reviews on all the SimCities, on everything from from Apple to Amiga to DOS to whatever. And
was cool.
He did a lot of these reviews, and his latest review in sometime in January on the history of SimCity, according to him, got cited by Max's employer as something that should be, jokingly put probably, should be required viewing at the Max's headquarters for new employees to see the history of the gaming, and if you're working on a SimCity game. And he himself waited at least, I think, like 2 weeks before he did his SimCity review, because he spent some time playing the game, because I'm guessing he wanted to make it as honest review as possible. And he reviewed the game, and he pretty much just ended up saying it's not the new SimCity, it's not what they deserved, it's not what they wanted, it's interesting, but it's stupid. The game itself now, irrelevant of online and offline.
Yeah, I think personally it's what EA wanted, you know.
Yeah, that brings us to a company called CCP that makes Eve.
Yes.
That's one company that's always listened to their player base.
Yes, their player base that blow up their ships with
Yes, the player base that if they interfere, they go and blow up CCP's own station. That player base. Yes, and there's been incidents where CCP has transgressed the line with not interfering into the game.
I'm just going to say one thing. Bob.
Yes, Bob. But the thing CCP does is as a company, they don't interfere with their own game. They said, pertinently, we're going to give you the tools, and what happens in the game happens with the game. We're not going to interfere. And the few occasions they did that, they got blown up. But what I really respect is they've got this council where they invite, I think it's about 14 or 15 players of the top players in EVE, and they fly them over to Iceland and host them there for like a weekend or a week, and they have a conference with these guys and say and find out what they want from the game.
They have almost quarterly CCP organized EVE events.
Yeah.
To just come together and chat.
Yeah,
not something formal.
One cool thing I saw is, with the latest FanFest, just a trivial thing, is that you can buy a ticket, your own ticket for FanFest, then you can buy a spouse ticket for FanFest.
A spouse ticket.
A spouse ticket.
The hell is a spouse ticket?
Yeah, spouse ticket. You go to a FanFest and your spouse gets treated to a spa and walk into the glaciers. And
sorry, hang on, guys. I'm drawing wife aggro.
Exactly. You avoid wife aggro by.
It's like I'm cutting the wife away.
Yes.
Cutting the wife away.
That's perfect. I mean, how cool is that? And I can appreciate that. That's a company that listens to their fans. Okay, it's a specialized niche game. But still, it's...
Yeah, it's not really that much of a niche, actually, personally. It's just... honestly, the reason I think that there's sort of a divide between... and they want to call it a niche is because it's not shiny and colourful like WoW. But
then you have to
still just numbers.
Then you have to... versus 13 million WoW players versus 500,000 EVE players.
Yeah, but it's been online for longer, and you've got to face it. Every
course.
Tom, Dick and Harry and 5-year-old can play WoW.
Spam 1, 2,
If with CCP you actually need to be able to play CCP, you need to be at least you need to have a certain amount of IQ. You don't have to have achieved anything in your life, but you have to have an IQ of at least 100 something.
First track will kill you. One thing I do appreciate is the fact that they bring in Dust 514.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
That's a very cool concept of bringing in PlayStation players to play in the same universe as EVE.
I'm still wondering why they made it PSP PlayStation exclusive. Maybe it's
Money.
just
because
money.
the PlayStation 3 is dying.
Sony's always done that. They find something they like and they're like, take all my money and be exclusive.
Yeah, and now they're sinking. You know, it's like,
Yes, there are rumors that the next PlayStation might be the last, or that they're already going out.
I don't know. I'm not.
With all the new third-party consoles entering the market all of a sudden, and things like the Ouya and the new Xbox and
Yeah, don't want to be mean, but I don't think the Ouya
Oh yeah.
no, I don't
can
think
compare it to even like an Xbox or PS3.
Well, it's just an Android-based console thingy. I understand that, but I mean, if you can play Quake 3 on a Raspberry Pi, which I saw with my own eyes, then
Are we gonna buy Raspberries to play Quake 3?
we're gonna buy
They sound
Raspberries.
like a Quake LAN with just a bunch of screens. With
You
the
just bring your
Raspberries.
own little box thing, your lunch box, a Raspberry Pi, put it down, plug in, you play Quake 3. I mean, that's what it's going to.
With rollable.
Yes, with rollerball. There we go.
I want a rollable.
Hey, I've seen a guy play Counter-Strike with rollerball, so don't diss that.
I've lost against a guy playing on a laptop with a trackpad.
You suck.
No, I did. He was in high school.
But yeah, I mean the console, it's Xbox or nothing. Honestly, that's what it's going to.
One thing about Xbox is, and this is something I picked up because one of my favorite podcasts, other than this one, is that Continue Cast from the guys that does Continue. Well, they do these two shows, and Continue Cast, I've told Pete in the last one, I think I did, was that they do two shows that are linked. The first one they say we're gonna play this game and this is our first impressions, and the second show is we've played this game and this was what we experienced. And with the one game they did was Fez. Fez is a relatively recent game. It was, I think, classified as an indie game because it's an indie developer. And what happened with Fez was Fez is known for it's a good game and very cult classy and all that. But the one thing that came up was there was a lot of errors, things like bugs and things breaking. Not big things, but things that like saving specific areas or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what. The thing is that it's not it's very simple to fix. It's a patch. But apparently, due to the way Microsoft's publishing works, unlike Steam, is that you have to pay an enormous, not enormous, an almost unreasonable amount of money to make any changes to the version of your game, and it's such a strange bracket or price or something that basically the developer it's cheaper for them to just post online, listen, there's this bug, and just avoid it, than actually just posting the fix.
The old sacred bug, type in the script to get the water from the
It's like with cool one like that. This Final Fantasy 7 and 8 would have only two Final Fantasies to come out on computer, on PC, straight launches. I think there might be others. I could be wrong. Don't kill me. The bottom line is that 7 came out, and it came out on PlayStation and on PC. Now, basically, what it did is what today's console ports from Xbox does. It loaded the Xbox ports loads a folder called Cook PC, which is basically an emulator. It's a specific emulator for the game that runs Xbox. Anyway, basically the Unreal Engine, isn't it?
No.
But Final Fantasy VII ran on your system quite well thanks to the work from Eidos. I think Eidos, now Square Enix Europe, I think. They made a brilliant engine for it to run on the computer, but the problem was that it was a game based on changing the discs to get to the different content, to progress through the chapters, because it's a long game. And at the end of the chapter, you guys probably won't know, but at the end of the chapter on the Northern character, there's this big reveal in the storyline, and the Northern character, and the bad guys revealed, and your character's true nature is revealed, and a big storyline is revealed, and there's a massive explosion, and then the game crashes. And the game crashed for a lot of players in that time, and that was during the time when the major graphic cards that allowed 3D rendering were the Voodoo cards and the NVIDIA TNT cards. The TNT cards.
Hands up who had Voodoos. I had a Voodoo.
Oh, I had a TNT. I was NVIDIA from the start. I didn't want to buy the Voodoo because my mum didn't like them.
I think my first graphics card was a GeForce 2.
Jeez.
Interesting.
Wow. You jumped in late.
Well played, sir.
Yeah, so the thing is,
Software rendering.
No, the thing is, I grew up with consoles, so
Oh.
so when you talk about like retro gaming, I'm feeling old.
I'm thinking PC.
No, because no. When you talk earlier, like you like to read retro gaming, it's like those are the games I played in my youth.
Yeah, you did. That's the thing is, you actually know Altered Beast and Primal Rage, but I only know it because I've downloaded it.
I actually have like magazines where I reviewed Primal Rage in 1994.
I have a magazine where they reviewed MechWarrior 2.
Okay, don't kill me on the year when it actually came out. It was just a damn example.
We can also mod it out. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much.
The great reveal.
The great reveal is that specific video had a glitch in for NVIDIA TNT cards. And NVIDIA TNT card specifically could not finish that video. Halfway through it'll stop and break. And the only way to get past that for a long time was downloading the editors. Because now the game was on PC. And people went, wait a minute, what's this? What are these
hack a way around
what are these registry files? And what's this thing called hex editing? And people went, and that's the first time I learned hex editing. I've forgotten most of it, but you downloaded these modders, and then what you did is the last save before the creator exploded, you sat there with your pencil and paper, and you wrote down every item, every level, every experience number, every material points level, everything, and then you downloaded a save, which people with voodoo cards got to, a save from just after this event, because there is a save just after the video, and you loaded that save and you edited every detail over again until literally NVIDIA released a patch just for Final Fantasy.
You know what crushed me? I pre-ordered Sacred 2. I love Sacred. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I like Sacred. So I pre-ordered Sacred 2, got the game, created my Playboy Angel Bunny thingy, Seraphim that every boy plays
with high level armor.
Yes, with high level less armor. And I started playing. Okay, cool. So I rummaged through this freaking thing. Bugs and errors everywhere, but I persevere. Had to go online and download maps just to find my way out of the dungeons and get it was horrific, but the game was fun nonetheless. Got to the end. Right, you have a key card, and you get to the end. And this was like a week after the game launched. You get to the end, you insert the key card, the gate, the doors open, you go in, then you fight the final boss. But the doors close behind you, and you cash in your key card. You don't have the key card anymore. So you fight the final boss, and if you die fighting the final boss, you spawn at the previous checkpoint, which is cool, except that it's conveniently situated outside this whole complex, and you can't get in again because you don't have a key card. You can't finish the game.
I remember this, yes.
There was a 1.6 gig patch that was released within.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
2 or 3 weeks after the game.
A 1.6 gig key card.
Yeah, a 1.6 gig key card that was released. I didn't even freaking bother. What? As far as I'm concerned, I finished Sacred 2. I haven't installed the game yet. I've got the save key. I'm over it. But that's a game-changing thing in the end, and why people can't test that.
Another thing a similar thing was that in Arcanum had a level cap, a very unreasonable level cap, which stopped you at like level 20 or something.
Yeah, I think we can have like an whole episode.
But it had a very unreasonable level cap, and they actually released a patch allowing you to go above that level cap. And me, a friend only I had the game, and we only had this one computer, and a friend of mine always came over the weekends, and he'd play, and then through the week I'd play, and so we level through the game separately. And then what happened was that he leveled faster than I did, and then we realized that there was a level cap, and we wanted these experience points. And then I installed a patch and locked my game into this, and his saves as well, and it turned out if you're above a certain level already, the level cap's still in place. You get foofed.
Okay.
And then he got capped and he just stopped playing the game, and I carried on. But we can do an entire episode on Arcanum.
Well, getting back to,
DRM.
being tagged onto the internet forever. When Witcher 2 was released, we talked about Witcher 2 earlier, and I said I'm not going to talk about Witcher 2, but when Witcher 2 was released, it was also online only. You have to be online. And then within a week, CD Projekt killed the dogs outside. Within a week, CD Projekt released a patch that killed the DRM. That,
Yeah, I
that
remember
totally removed it from.
I remember because the people were complaining about frame rate drops, and when
Yes.
the people who were playing the game with like the no CD crack, they were getting better frame rates.
Yes, and then they just like dropped it. I mean, okay, you have to have a vicious PC to play the game, anyways.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was PC.
well, that was cool. I appreciated the fact that they did that. So
Yeah, the bluff tracks are in full effect tonight. But
okay, cool. The doggies.
But yeah, I think okay. Let's call this an episode done. You know,
Let's call this an episode.
let's call this an episode. Like we always say when we end the show: live hard, work hard, and nerd out hard.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Adios.
cheers.